What's up, and welcome back to another episode of What the Hell Am I Doing? In this case, what the hell have I done? On Monday, September 23rd, 2019, I tried to do a scuba diver play on Pstv, and I got stuck in a volatility halt going down. It was like an elevator going down that I never wanted to go on. So check this out. I was at the Tim Sykes Trader and Investor Summit, right? And on Monday, first you're there Saturday and Sunday, and then on Monday we live trade. And people were looking at stuff, and PSTV was the top percent gainer. It had a zero float. I was like, oh, this is my bread and butter, even though I'm not making a diddly squat. And as soon as it goes down, and I'm so good at looking at bottoms. I'm so good. I never got in like oh, hold on. Let me open this up. Look how patient I was. I remember one girl telling me, "Oh, there are three waves going down." So I waited, and I was like, "This looks like a bottom that's holding." And then I saw a trend shift where it was like, and literally, if I would have got in here at the bottom in the 1050s, this was a dollar, more than a dollar play. You know what I'm talking about? So I, of course, was like, oh, this is the ramp, this is the ramp. And because on Oracle, you know how, I gotta show you next time, but it said that the long delta was like $7, that the signal was at 15, and it was potentially going to go up to 19. And I was like, this is great. It just touched the bottom and it's going to go all the way up and break out. And I started to get nervous here. I was like, let me get in before it goes even higher, even though I was kind of looking at this range as my ultimate support level. But oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And I was trying to figure out where I thought that this was a bottom, but I was still patient. And then it just totally crashed through there. But so I got in here. This was like 11 79.69, I think was my entry. 100 shares. And my account was at 300, so I actually, after, the little, like, all the hard work for my job, I finally got my paycheck, and I, like, put some money in, not a lot, maybe like $1,000. I put it into my little trading account, and I was like, I'm just gonna play with this a little bit. I'm gonna take it out as soon as I get back from the conference, and I was willing to risk $100 to make like 19, because that was what I was thinking it was gonna go to. And I was like, oh, I'll make $8 a share. I'll make $800. This will be beautiful. I could pay for the whole trip. And, I was still like, okay, it hasn't broken my support level. And by the way, okay, I met this nice guy. His name is Austin at the trader conference, and we were texting each other because we sat next to each other like for lunch, and we were talking about buying bottoms. And he was like, but he's more advanced than I am. He knows how to read SEC filings. And he was like, stay away from this one. This is not a good play. And this one they did a recent reverse split. I don't even know how he found out that information. And this one has an offering coming. And I was like, whatever, it'll be fine. I had no idea. I had no idea that something like this could happen. And around this area, I was already down like $70. But I was like, whatever, it hasn't broken my support level. And you see this bottom is like in the 1060s. And over here it was like 11:30. I was like, oh, I'm only 40 cents away from where I entered. It'll be fine. It'll keep going. And then all of a sudden, it just cracked. And this was like, it cracked at 10:02, I remember. And I tried to get out at 10:02, and I tried to get out at 10:01, but no hope, nothing. The orders were frozen still. And I was like, okay, as soon as it opens up, I'll get out. Volatility halts, maybe like 5 minutes. So from 12:16, I was eating lunch during this time, because we had to go back at 1:30. All right. And boom. Somewhere around 1 o'clock, it opened here, dude. Okay? And I got out like here. I got out in the 360 area. You want to see proof? Yeah, $11.67. I got it at 368. This is the worst trade I have ever made. Ever in my entire trading history. I was almost like numb. Like, I'm so used to money slipping out of my hands and the idea of being poor. And you could say, oh, well, you think about being poor, you go, who's going to be poor? No, bro, you just like are, and then you're just like, fuck it. Like, it is what it is. You know, like, of course it's not going to work out. And I remember that one dude was like, don't be so hard on yourself. Treat yourself like you're a trading student of your own. Yeah, okay, I'm trying. So, this is my worst loss. I mean, some of the dudes at the conference were like, "Oh, I lost 60,000. I lost 20,000." Like, so losing 800 is nothing, but losing 800 for me was a lot. And I was like, "Oh my God, like, how did I do this, dude?" I was like, "Oh shit," you know. But you know what I learned and what I will never forget, and this is the end of the scuba diver play. This is the end. You know why? This is the end of the scuba diver play in NASDAQs. I'm going to switch it over to OTCs. But NASDAQs, you have to know what the SEC filings are. It is absolutely insane. I did not know the fire that I was playing with. So this was, hold on, I think it was an S1. Where is this thing? I think I was looking at this, S1. So the cool part about STT is that it's already there. You want to go inside your house? Okay, there. And so I was like, how do I read this? And they were showing me approximate date of commencement of proposed sale to the public as soon as practicable after this registration. So, like, the selling of shares is going to happen as soon as possible. And then I was told to look at this, which is the exercisable warrants. I don't know how to read this stuff, really, but I better start because basically that's what, like, the company was allowed to sell shares type of thing, and then I guess it happened here and your girl was inside of that. So also Roland Wolf gave a speech and he was saying how he's a short biased long trader and that he first looks at SEC filings and takes it as he's looking for landmines, and when he reads the SEC filings he sees them light up. So I was like, that is the perfect analogy for this. So yeah, NASDAQ's very close, like SEC filings, like put your hands together and the other hand is NASDAQ. And I had no idea. Or I knew, but I didn't understand how crazy it can get. And I only had 100 shares. If I would have had 1,000 shares, I would be looking at an $8,000 loss. Do you get that? Do you get how crazy that is? If I had 1,000 shares, my position size wouldn't have been 1,000, it would have been 11,000, and my loss would have been 8,000. Like, that is a 70-80% loss? That's crazy. That is crazy. So I hope that people can see the disaster that can happen within the blink of an eye and can be like, holy shit, you know, because this is not a game. This is totally not a game. And I went up to Tim and I was like, hey, can I tell you something? Because I was fucking freaking out in my mind. And I was like, I just lost $800 on Pstv. And he was like, oh, you know, you should have cut your losses quickly. And I was like, I was trying to, but this is being stuck in a halt. Like, there's no getting out of this. Like, I tried, but there's just no getting out. I had no idea this can happen, you know? So I was like, shit, man. I should have got out of my $70 loss, but it didn't break my risk level. So who knows about this play? This play was insane for me. And I was just laughing to myself. I was like, oh my God, I come to this place. I can barely afford to be here. I'm just like throwing money out the window. Like, what the hell did I just do? You know, and people were like, I told so many people and they're like, oh my God, you know. And then some people were like, your face looks so weird. Like, my cat and my dog are fighting. your face looks like you're really like, and literally after this happened, I was like, maybe I could switch my plane ticket, like maybe I could just leave right now. I was just like, I need to never trade ever, ever, ever again. But another amazing thing that I learned at the conference is that people studied for 15 to 17, especially the guys that are like new $100,000 like winner dudes. They were like, I've studied 15 to 70 to 17 hours a day. Like, I'm obsessed with this stuff. I never give up. And so that was kind of like, I was like, oh, I'm so pumped. And then like I go back to work and I'm like working like 8, 9 hours a day and travel time and like taking care of stuff at home, and I come home and I'm exhausted and I'm like, I can do a 5 minute video lesson, but my brain is shot, my body is shot. When am I gonna you barely have like a day off, right, or 2 days off. I'm just like, when am I gonna study? I don't have any time to look at the market, so but I'm just gonna keep pushing. And people were like, oh, I worked in a grocery store at night to like figure this shit out. So I'm trying to like figure out my schedule. But then it's like, if you have debts, then you can't, you have to have a job that's going to pay off the debts. Like, it's so crazy. It gets so crazy, and it is so hard. It really is so hard. But I'm not going to give up. It's going to take 25 years. I'm not going to give up. But this made me feel like so crappy. I was like, you kidding me, dude? Because in my head was all like, oh, I'm making $800. And I lost $800. It's like really, really crazy. Also, I met one of the people in Beyond the PDT podcast. His name is Matt. So that was really cool. And it was cool like talking to the 6-figure people and being like, how did you figure this shit out? Like, and it's all about dedication, not giving up, saving your money, and just like, I don't know. But I could not believe that I did this. But everybody was like, weren't you paying attention, Liz? And I was like, I don't remember people saying that this was I remember a little bit like, oh, this is a bad play, but I've heard that before. I've heard people telling me like, oh, the scuba diver play is bad because look at the entry that you're having, And I'm like, forget it. They're just not going to capitalize on catching the bottom. But no, man. SEC filings, what the hell? I had no idea. Look at this. 11 to 3 or 4. What the hell is this? Okay, this is when you're caught in a volatility halt on the way down because of an offering. This is burned into my eyes. This is not Pstv. This is PTSD. And even though it's a micro float, even though these are the only shares outstanding, let's look at the daily chart. Okay. Hang on. No. So I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. This was the offering. Yeah. But like, it looked like it was kind of stable over here. It looked like it had a bottom in the 7s or the 8s. And Oracle said it was supposed to go to 19. So I was doing all types of dumb stuff. Not even just dumb, but not aware. In this game, I have to be extra aware of everything that's going on. So something else that was funny to me was like, so I was like, oh, Tim, I just lost $800. He's like, oh, you should have cut your losses quicker. And I was like, it's so funny. You should tell people, because I was freaking out, right? And he was like, it's not funny. It's sad. And it is sad, but it was so sad that it was funny. You get what I'm saying? So sad that it was funny, because I was so disappointed with myself. And after that point, I became numb. I was like, no, man, this is a sign that trading is not for me. Because this took, I don't need this, to be able to fund my account. Stop eating cat food. To be able to fund my account with $1,000, which was supposed to go towards like paying off credit card stuff. I was just like, oh, I'll just play a little bit. I want to feel like I can play. I can't really play with 300, so let me like that was like 80 hours of work, and just gone in the blink of an eye. And it just didn't hit me. It didn't hit me. Like, I was just like, you know, there we go. All my work is for nothing. Like, just so. And you know what else I learned at this conference is that believing in yourself and not doubting yourself, not being negative, is so important. And that's something that I really struggle with. And I think that is something that is taught and that you can teach yourself. You know, you can catch yourself being negative and you can change that perspective. But that is definitely something that I'm working with. So when shit like this happens, I'm like, yes, my regular. This is me. I'm a, I'm a long trader that makes the perfect short, you know, because I'm fucking in right here and I'm getting out like after the halt. Like, that's crazy. That is crazy. So, hopefully by next conference, I will know. Hey, what are you doing? He's eating a bone, chewing on a bone. I will know a little bit more, but wow, I was like, you gotta be kidding me, bro. Are you serious? You know? And I changed the arrows to be green and red over here. So, what the hell am I doing is still so relevant. It is so relevant. And because of my job, because of my funds, because of my bills, trading looks so far away. Like, wouldn't it be so nice for me to win the lotto of, like, let's say 50K, and I just sit at home and study all day and play with my little, like, PDT money, you know, and just do that. But right now, it is just back on the grind. Um, so yeah, so I got super pumped up. Like, now in my brain, it's always like study, study, study. And I was like, oh my God, I gotta make a video about this, what I did. But I think it's a good video because I think people have to know the dangers of what can happen when you just play, even with small position size, you just play. You have no idea. You have no idea what you're doing. And it is frightening. It is absolutely frightening. And you know, I'm not like somebody that has no idea what they're doing, but for this to happen to somebody that has some idea of what they're doing and still experience such a big loss, I mean, it is, I was like, you got to be kidding me. Like, this, you know, I was like, and the whole theme of the conference too was about like OTCs and how they're breaking out and all this other stuff. And I was like, OTCs, they sound cool, but I don't really know about them. And then this was like, no, 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 I'm staying away from NASDAQs. I was like, I can't handle NASDAQs. Until I learn SEC filings, I'm staying away. So I'm going to try to shift my, oh, and did you guys see the Dan Bilzerian OTC stock that went from like, it's BIZLF. That was one of the stocks that Tim bought at the end of the conference. It went from like the 120s, 130s to the 260s, 280s. I don't know where it is now, but I was like, OTCs, man, it's all about OTCs. So that's what I want to get good at. And I know that they don't trade pre-market, but that's pretty much it for me right now. Like, literally, I haven't looked at the market again since Monday because it's just like working and grinding, and just like there's just no chance. There's no chance. There's no money to play with. It's just like, I don't know. So that's where I am. And I hope that you like this video. It really is crazy to me. It's not funny, but it's funny in like the most saddest way. It's like, what? You know, what? I wanted to tell Tim because he was saying that he was talking about that court case of like this top trader that got in trouble and he ended up taking female growth hormones because women are better traders. And I just wanted to be like, I think I need to take more female growth hormone because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. You know, I keep hearing like women are better traders, but clearly I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't think gender has anything to do with it. I think it's like how much you're studying and how you can apply yourself, even though it's like this male dominated thing. But it's just like, and another thing I was thinking about was like people say that women are better traders, but it's like, what is the actual sample size of that? You know, there's not a lot of women traders to begin with. So maybe they just have to be like the best of the best. And then if you sample size them, it's like, are you getting an accurate read that women are better traders? I don't know. Because you know what I'm saying though? I just don't know. So because if we're doing it based off of gender, like then I don't feel special at all, because being a different gender than the popular gender doesn't make me a better trader. Does that make sense to you? Because it makes sense to me. Um, this is becoming a rant, and but those are some ideas that I had. Look at this selling signal, this red thing. Yeah. So yeah, I was like, literally after it happened, I was eating lunch, then I sold it, and I was like, I need to leave right now. I need to leave and never come back. I need to never trade again. Um, but I think, you know what? There was one girl there that I met, and I had known about her before, but she said she was down 12K, and that gave me hope. She said I was down 12K and now I'm up 50K. And I said, you know what? If she couldn't give up being down 12K, like, you have to have resilience. So, um, that gave me hope. I said, you know what? I can turn this ship around, but what a nasty loss, right? Nasty. And this isn't even $8,000. This is $800. But I'm saying relative wise, like, if I'm like, oh, I have 25K, oh, I lost 800. Okay, cool, whatever. But this is like, you started with 1,300 and now you're down 800. Like, I literally took all the money that was left of the trading account and I transferred it back. I was like, oh, no, 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 I'm getting out of here. This is over, you know? So hopefully one day I will figure this out. But right now it's looking bleak, and it's just, you know what's funny about it? It's just like, what are the odds? What are the odds? But maybe the odds are high, since I don't know what I'm doing, that I would fuck this shit up so fast. But I was just like, wow, are you serious? Um, so yeah, people are gonna be like, oh, Liz, you sound so hard on yourself. This is just my default personality. Um, so you know what, too? It's like I had all these good scuba diver plays and I learned the wrong lesson. I learned that scuba diver plays work, when in reality, and you know what else I made a mistake about? Is that you're supposed to track your trades that are working for you. Like, I've just been tracking all the trades I'm doing, but I'm not tracking by setup. I have no statistics on whether a NASDAQ scuba diver play actually works. Like, how many times have I tried a NASDAQ scuba diver play, and how many times has it actually worked in my favor, or actually worked at all? So that was another thing that I learned, is that I'm supposed to be tracking the setups that I'm trying. Um, and that's pretty much it. It's a very long rant, and that's it. That's it. That's it. Goodbye.